What's up guys, in today's video we're going to set up Maverick, my Cornsnake's adult tank. If you didn't see the video where we built that, you should go check that out and then come back here. With all that said, let's get into it. Alright guys, so we're starting the video off in my bathroom. As you can see, I have the plug on in my tub and I'm turning the hot water on all the way. I have some wood that's been sitting in my shed for a while and it's been drying out, but there could still be some parasites or just bacteria in general. So what we're going to do is heat it up a lot in the bathtub. Normally I'd use the oven, but since this wood's too big for it, we're going to use the bathtub. As you can see, the water is pretty hot. It's 130 degrees. Normally I'd bake it for 200 degrees for a few hours, but as I already said, it's not going to work because it's too big. I'm going to fill the water up to here just so it's fully submerged. I put a weight on the wood so it wouldn't float. As you can see, some air bubbles are coming out of the wood already. So I walked away from the tub for a little too long and the water's filled up way too much. I was not going to let it get this high originally, but it is what it is. I also let it set for an hour like that, so now I'm just draining the water, as you can see here. Now I'm going to use a shower head to spray down the wood and get any loose particles off, whether that be bark or dirt. As you can see, lots is already coming off. Once I finish that, I set them on some paper towels. It is still very messy because there's like moss and lichen on it, and that rubs off real easily. I have a small piece of wood that's been in the oven, so I'm going to take that out also. It's also at 200 degrees. Here's all the wood I have so far. I've gotten some more from my wood pile that's already been treated. And there's the tank, if you haven't seen us build it already. It's the next day and the stand for the tank has been delivered, so I'm going to open this up and assemble it now. I put all the wood inside of the new tank and I'm moving George's tank out of the way because I'm moving a lot of things in my room. Now we can finally open the box. You'll notice that lots of the things in this video are two hand jobs, so there's going to be lots of cuts and things that you miss, but it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, here's the table out of the box. Now it's just time to assemble it. It was a little bit confusing because it shows that this yellow thing goes all the way down, but it physically can't. So yeah, I put the legs down and now it's just time to move everything into back here where it's going to go. I got it back in the corner. It was a tight squeeze because it fits perfectly. Everything's measured out to fit back there. Now I'm gonna have to take all this wood out and put the tank in the corner now. First, I'm gonna have to move George's new tank. He's in there, and there's his old tank, but I'm gonna have to move him out of the way because he's in the way. And I just went ahead and put him under the table where the tank's gonna finally rest. And I put his heat lamp on too, just so he's not in the dark. I also ended up just putting the tank on the new table, so yeah. And here it is with the LED light bar, just so you can see inside of it. And here's how everything looks all set up. Of course, Maverick's tank, well, his old tank isn't going to be there. And George is out, he's still in shed. And Tilly's tank, she's in that back corner down there at the bottom. And then Mingo's right there, I don't know if you can see him, he's right there. Anyways, now it's time to continue on the tank, and we're going to start by adding the substrate, which is reptichip, but it's off-brand, so we'll see how that goes. For some reason, all reptichips come with this thing in the front, or whatever, but yeah, just got to take it out. It was a little struggle to open it. It's not like normal reptichip. It's got like a second layer of plastic, and now you just have to fill it up with water. And you do this because it's compressed, so when it soaks up the water, it just expands. And you get a lot of it, so you might want to have a trash bag nearby to store it in. Here it is opened in the tank, and I only filled it with enough water to where it's somewhat easy to break up. Now we just have to take off all the plastic and then get our hands dirty. And again, this is a two-hand job, so you're not going to see me break up most of it because it takes a while. And just like that, it is all broken up. I'm gonna store the rest of it somewhere else. I don't know where yet, but as you can see, it's all broken up nicely, and it's damp, of course, but he's also gonna go in the shed soon. As you can see, though, it's pretty thick. It's a pretty thick layer. It's like 2 inches maybe, which is perfect especially for his size. All right, now I'm gonna give you guys a comparison of this off-brand reptichip and then on-brand reptichip, or whatever you call it. So this is the real reptichip. As you can see, it's real mulchy, and then the fake one, or off-brand, is also nice, but it's got more cocoa fiber and it's more ground up. As you can see, I'm in the tank with this. I'm gonna just dump it back in, but yeah, I think it'll be fine. I don't think it's gonna mold. So yep. Alright, with the rest of the reptichip block out and substrate in, now it's time to get Maverick stuff into the tank. As you can see, it's right there. First though, I'm going to just see what it's like to have him in here. I've done it before, but just like with the substrate in, we'll see what he thinks. As you can see, he looks real tiny in here. Believe it or not, he's longer than his current tank. So he's like 33 inches or something like that, maybe even longer. And now it's time to just put him back there. Alright, I know I said that we're going to start putting his stuff in, but I lied, sorry. So we need a lot more stuff to fill this tank because it's obviously a lot bigger. So I'm just collecting some branches from the outside, and I'm not even going to bake these because it's like -11 outside. And as you can see, I've already played around with the wood we already had. Yeah, I'm going to put a plant there probably. These two are going to go somewhere like in the middle, and then there's going to be a plant back there maybe too, like a pothos. And then the hides are going to go probably just spread out evenly. So yeah, now it's time to put in these big like branches things. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. I literally just kind of threw them in here and I think it looks real good though. I also want to incorporate some big rocks maybe in the back, and then everywhere I'll probably do like smaller rocks. And then there's his basking area, a plant there and there, as I already said. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The only problem is I don't have the big rocks that are going to go there. I have these little ones, and I want the rocks to kind of match the color, but I don't know if they will yet. So yeah, here I am at the river where I'm getting them. They're pretty big. They're at least 20 pounds each. So yeah, it was definitely a two-hand job, as you can imagine. I crushed the rocks, so all three of these right here make up like one giant one. Yeah, and then I have a bigger one, but I didn't end up using that one. So yeah, I'm just rinsing them off in the sink with hot water because I can't really bake these because of how heavy they are, but I'm not too worried. Alright, and as you can see, these are the rocks that we have to work with, so quite a lot. I don't know if I'm going to end up using all of them. I probably will, but I think it's a good assortment, and I have more if I need to, but these are the ones I'm going to use. Alright, I've taken the rocks back up to my room now, and as you can see, the colors do not really match as much as I thought they were going to, so I don't know if I'm going to use his old rocks, but I'm definitely going to use the new ones. So yeah, now I'm going to start figuring out where to put them. I'm going to put that big one back there. That's going to be his main basking rock because it's the biggest. So yeah, I think that'll look good. I also added this cork that I didn't know I had. I just found it randomly. I think he'll enjoy that as a hide. And now I'm going to add this rock, and now you can just watch me put in all these rocks. I've started to add the smaller rocks, so I added one here, and then back there is where that one spider plant's going to go. And yeah, right here I also might do a plant or just another rock. And that rock and that rock are the ones I still have left. So as you can see, I put that one there, and it kind of makes a little cave. Now this big one is going to go somewhere in here. I ended up just putting it here on the far left side. It's got some algae on it. Yeah, I'm going to end up putting a pothos probably back in this corner back here. And then there's also going to be one of his hides here. And then maybe there for sure. So yeah, I have 3 of them in here. And then I have that deer antler as well. And I still don't know if these little rocks I'm going to use because their color's different. Put the deer antler here on the left side, and now I'm going to try to find places for the plants, and as well as the 3 hides too. I put in the biggest spider plant, it'll have lots of room to grow and I won't have to cut its leaves back anymore. Now I'm going to figure out where to put the last spider plant. And here's where I put it, just right here by the other cork piece. Now I'm going to put in the last 3 hides, well, the other ones, so you know what I mean. Here they are, Mavericks in that one, so I'm going to do that one last, but I'm going to do these 2 first. And just like that, they're out of his old tank and in the new tank. I dug out the substrate a lot, so there's a lot of room in here. The second one's back there, as you can tell. Now it's just time to figure out where the water dish goes, and then where the last hide goes, which I think I know where I'm going to put it. Also, I have this little air plant, so I'm going to put that by the water dish. And as far as plants go, pothos there and a pothos there should make the tank look a lot better. Now it's time to take this big hide out. As you can tell, he's obviously under there, so I'm going to have to hurry up now just so he's not stressed out because there's nowhere for him to hide in his old tank. I put the hide exactly where I knew I was going to put it, in the back right corner. I think he's really going to like that. And all that's left to do is add in these little rocks. I don't know if it's going to look the best, but as you can tell, this is how they look inside because they are inside. I don't think it looks too bad. I can always remove them if I want to later, but for now I think it looks pretty good. You can't tell too much. And again, pothos there and pothos there, and they'll hopefully climb up all these branches that are placed in there. And now it's time to put him in, but first I am going to add his heat lamp. So that is on there, and I'll probably end up having to change the bulb later, but he can just crawl up, whether he wants to be on the rock or crawl up into the branches, he can do that. So yeah, and with everything in that needs to be in, it is time to put him in. Alright, so I've got him out of the tank, and I'm going to set him into the branches above, and just let him be then. As you can see, he likes to climb, or I don't know if he likes to, but he's at least good at it. So, yeah, you can just watch him. And as you can tell, he's definitely got a lot more room to stretch out, so I think he'll definitely enjoy this new tank. Whenever I put a new animal into a new tank, or just an animal into a new tank in general, I normally get some clips of him enjoying it, but because he's a snake, he's probably not going to be out too much. He's just going to want to hide. So, as I figured, he's going into this hide immediately. So, I'll try to get some clips of him as much as I can, but it's not going to be like how I do with my lizards. So, a few days later now, and it's feeding day, so I'm going to be feeding him. It's a special feeding day because he's moving up in mice sizes. If you want to skip the feeding, skip to the time on screen. If you decided to stay, then congratulations, you get to see him eat his first small mouse, as it is called. As you saw, I originally thought he was in this tube hide. That was just because he's been hanging out there for the past few days. He came out though when he smelled the mouse. I'm going to speed the next few clips up just because it takes a while. He took it pretty gently as opposed to how he normally takes it, very aggressively. I think that's just because he could tell that it was a lot bigger. I shook the mouse just so he wraps around it better and he doesn't drop it. Like I said, I'm going to be speeding lots of the feeding up because it took maybe 10 minutes for him to eat it since I recorded the whole thing. This takes him way longer than normally just because it's way bigger than what he's used to eating. So yeah, I'm going to speed him up. Alright, so that feeding is basically just your clips of him for this video, because, like I already said, he doesn't really come out that much because he's shy, and especially not in this new environment. Anyways, with the feeding over, now it's time to work on some lighting. So I have this LED bar, it's on Georgia's tank, and after the video, it's been on Georgia's tank because it looks better on Georgia's tank. He needs it more anyways. So with that on, it just brightens the tank up more, obviously, and I'm just shutting the tank. And if you don't know how these tanks work, to lock, it's just this pin goes in this metal thing, and you can't open it anymore. Anyways, he is inside of that cork hide, but the tank still isn't finished yet. I need to get more plants, so I'll get that in a few days. I can't right now. Alright, it's a day later, and I took out that rock on this left side to use for a different thing, and then these two hides I've taken from there and made them into one hide. That hide is still back there, but this cork hide is what he's been staying in. He's actually in this one over here right now. But yeah, so I think he knows his way around the tank by now. And speaking of that, he has moved now, and he is underneath this little, he's wedged himself under here, so I just figured I'd video that and show you guys. It is now a week and a day later now, so I'm thawing out a rat to feed him. He is in there still. That's where he's been hiding out. So yeah, we're gonna feed him. The rat kind of just disappeared in there. Yeah, he took it real fast. There's not gonna be any clips of him eating it just because he was in there the whole time. Now I'm going to work on this lighting. Right now I have a LED bar on here, and this I turned off because I'm going to put a ceramic heat emitter because it's not getting hot enough. So I'm probably going to use the white one. So yeah, I'm going to wait for that to cool down. Now the ceramic heat emitter's in and the temperatures are good. It's a few days later, and I moved this hide from here and then this hide from here, and as you can see, he's up here basking, kind of cryptic basking, because he's like kind of hanging out, like just a small part of him. And as you can see, it is 86 degrees here, so he's enjoying it. A few days after that, I caught him out fully outside of all his hides, so I just figured I'd record that. And that, guys, is going to end the video. I know I was saying that we were going to get a plant for that back left corner. As you can see right here, Maverick's eating. But as I was saying, we're not going to be able to get that plant because of the weather. As you know, it's really cold outside. We're having that cold wave. Even Texas got like a foot of snow, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we're not going to be getting the plant for back there. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, comment what you want to see next. And actually, next video is already recorded. It's been recorded and edited. It's ready to post. So that'll be out maybe a week from now. Well, it will be. So yeah, see you in the next one.